So random memory I have is that my mom, like, she would make meal cook soup for me for after school. So when I come home, I would just like eat some soup, and then when I eat some soup, I would like put my phone on the table and like watch sketchbook tours. So it's pretty, I don't know, nostalgic, I guess, to be making a sketchbook tour right now, because all I can think of is meal cooked soup. So yeah, I think it was this one first. So this is the first sketchbook, I think. Let me check. This is March. Okay, hold up. I think me and my friends went to like an anime, no, not anime, like a comic, like, you know, an expo where everyone like cosplays and stuff like that in like Toronto. And so these are all the stickers I got from there. I don't remember who's who. I went to because Shirahama Kamome was going to like a library in Toronto, and then there was a bunch of other like booths around, and so I bought these two because I just finished watching Gundam. And then this one, we went out with some university friends, and then we went to like this dead mall, and they had like this store called Doll Funeral, and it just sells like Lolita fashion. This one is the guy from Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, but I thought he looked like Ian from Lobotomy Corporation, and they didn't have any Project Moon stuff, so I just coped, I guess. Might as well turn on the light, right? But yeah, and then these are other stickers that I got. Very cute. And then this one was gifted from my friend, and this one I got from Washington. But yeah, stickers aside, we can just start. Oh god, this can't, oh my god, this sketchbook's too big. It can't fit in the screen. Okay. This was when I first got into Milgram, which is like an internet series about serial killers, and you have to decide whether, like, they're quote-unquote guilty, or if, you know, what they did was justified and stuff. But yeah, this is when I first got into it. This is, I think this was before I knew there was like a season 1, season 2, season 3. And like, everyone's in their season 2, or trial 2 era, but I didn't know what that was. I thought this is the regular look. The Mikoto kind of does not look like Mikoto. It kind of looks like a very different person. But what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, and then these are like my OCs, but like in Milgram. And I was like, I don't know, I was in the Milgram grind basically. And then these are some OCs, some Toxic Fury. I don't know if I should explain them. Like, these are OCs, these are two OCs. You've seen these two probably, but these two you probably have not seen. It's just Toxic Fury, don't think too hard on it. Yeah, and then these two again. I should probably name the. Her name is Chuni and her name is Bahar. And then it's just me messing with some pens, just doing some doodles. And then this is them in like the game called Elevator Hitch. I just wanted to put them in like a bunch of AUs because I don't know. It's kind of bored. I think I digitalized this too. Sorry, I don't know if it's seeing well. The sketchbook's so big. I might have to censor this actually. I don't know if YouTube is fine with that. This is when Kanto, was it 6? Heathcliff's Kanto from Limbus Company, and I just wanted to draw out the new IDs that came out. They came out very long ago. It's crazy to think about. Kanto 5 is like old. No, Kanto 5 to Kanto 6. And then this was like a thing in the Victorian times where women just like took off their clothes and sword fighted. I think it was like an erotica thing, not an actual sports time thing, but I don't know, it sounds fun. I would do that. More Toxic Fury, and then these are OCs. I was watching Black Narcissus, which is like a very, very old vintage Hollywood movie. These are some OCs. She's a Buddhist nun and she's a Catholic nun, and they're kind of best friends. About Black Narcissus, the movie was okay. It's just very for its time, in my opinion. It wasn't that good, basically. More Bahar and Chuni, they have their own story going on. And then this is Rodia, Roshu, and Don Quixote from Limbus Company. I had a dream about them. They were like suburbanite, like school friends. I don't know, that'd be really cute, especially their outfits. I really like Their outfits, very cute. And this was back when I was first coming up with the idea of like lighthouse keepers, and then they got stranded on an island and they have to eat like mermaids. So because their food was depleting. But yeah, I might turn it into like a visual novel or like a webcomic one day. That's what I'm thinking. But this is their like original, very first concepts. I don't know if you can. Oh my god, this sketchbook is so. Why is it so big? I just take a nice look. Yeah, I should probably name them. So my bad. Beckett, Marina, Adair. That's their names. I just came up with the fly. Just whatever vintage name there was. These are some partisan OCs, like Belarusian partisans during World War II, and then I digitalized all of these. But yeah, these are like my partisan OCs. This is when like the Nazis invaded Belarus, and then this is just a bunch of kids trying to fight against them. But yeah. These are just some doodles. This is Bahar and Chuni's story. It's just like a random comic. I don't know if you can read that because my handwriting is so... It's so not it. But yeah, these are some OCs, and these are also OCs. I probably shouldn't say that. Oh, I was in Washington for this one. For graduation trip, we went to Washington, D.C., and then we just drew a bunch of... this was in the Korean War Memorial, and this was Lincoln's statue in the whatever the hell it wasn't. And then these were like, this was the original one, but now it's just like a barrier between these, because this is like charcoal. And these are some stickers I got from there. I still have them here. Still got some stickers. These are the ones I got. I still have some. And then I use them. I just don't know what to use them for. I want to use this for something, but I want to save it because it's a good poster. I can look at that a little more. Yeah, more statues. This was a museum. You know, one of the museums from Washington. They have a lot. Yuri. You don't need to look at that. More Chuni and Bahar, and then these are other characters. They're like prisoners in like this utopian city. It's like a giant prisonscape, and then it's just them trying to escape it. It's very sci-fi, but like I'm like really not into sci-fi at all. So their story might take a little while to like fully conceptualize. I can say their names: Gray, Brown, and then Pink. And then she's cyan, and then she's aquamarine. I forgot. They're based off of colors because the up people don't want them having autonomy, so they don't want to know their real names. More of them, and then her name is Rosie. Her name is something, and her name is also something, I forgot. And then just random doodles. And they look really cute. I like their outfits. I also like this, but you might have to tilt your head to look at it, but yeah, they're also very cute, but I think I use a reference for this. I think I was at a friend's place and I was just bored, so this is more of that partisans. This is like what their passports would look like, because everyone, like, they need a passport if they want to escape. So, and then this guy's a Polish, he was in Polish partisan, because Belarus and Poland, they're like right next to each other, and so he kind of gets over the border and try to help everybody. And this is a magical girl stuff. It's kind of messy, but it's basically just like a very short comic of how their powers would work. More OC stuff. His name is Cedric, and that's Alfred. They're like, he's his servant, but they kind of like don't like each other. Like, he's not his main servant guy, but he still has to serve him. But yeah, their relationship is kind of stilted. And this was countryman stuff, actually. It's like the Industrial Revolution. It's just some guy during the Industrial Revolution, and then these two. She's like a Bolshevik, and he's a white army officer. so they have beef. Yeah, I miss this pen. It was so nice. More Industrial Revolution stuff, and then this is Japan, and this is when they're like talking to each other. You can't see them up there. It's just doodles, really. It's nothing. It's nothing too fancy. This is I was part of like a Gaza gacha thing where people donate to Palestine, and then we draw whatever they want, and I was part of like a witch hat atelier one, and so this is like a doodle for a request after someone donated, and Shirahama herself on Twitter actually retweeted it, so thank you, Shirahama. And this is more of the Lighthouse Keeper stuff. I watched The Vanishing, which is a Lighthouse Keeper horror movie. It's basically the same thing. It's like 3 lighthouse keepers. They get stranded on an island, and then they start going insane. And I thought the movie was pretty solid. I don't know. It's pretty good. My favorite Lighthouse Keeper movie is actually the one by Robert Eggers. The one with William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. It's very, I don't know, a safe choice, but I like that movie. Because people don't really make Lighthouse Keeper horror, I think. So it's one of the best ones, I think. And more doodles. This is just a funny comic. This was like from Be More Chill, I think. Yeah. Damn, remember Be More Chill? That's crazy. And then more Lighthouse Keeper stuff. This one says, I love mercury poisoning because Lighthouse Keepers went insane because of the mercury they had to use when they were like lighting the lighthouse, or the lantern, I guess. But yeah, there's more of them. I would make this a sticker. I think it's very cute. So them core. Lighthouse Keeper stuff, and then an OC. Her name is Dailu, and she basically can turn into like a tiger. This was based off of a Twitter thing going on where people redrew this this tiger creature someone saw in their dream. So I tried to give her that kind of look, but it didn't really work out because I don't know how to draw tigers. That's something I just have to practice more. Sorry, I'm moving this a lot. I think I just have to default to this. More Chuni and Bahar. This is like all Pinterest stuff. These are OCs. Tom, Chloe, Evan, and then Jillian. And then Jillian and Chloe here again. More stickers. They're committing arson because that's what friends do, right? I would love to digital like this though. I need to draw these 4 more because they're like my oldest OCs. Okay, I played Married and Red, which was a new game from Studio Investigrave. They also made Elevator Hitch. I was talking about that a bit earlier. And yeah, more Toxic Yuri. And then this is actually just more Yuri. Just drawing some lesbians. That's kind of it. There's one over there. Very pretty. Oh, Yuri, don't worry about that. That's so mad sus. But like, it's just girls fucking. Anyway, more Lighthouse Keepers, more. This is them before they went on they were sent to beyond the island. Because they just used to be like factory workers and stuff. Because it was during this story takes place during like the 1860s and stuff. So they were probably just usually like factory workers or something. This was me redesigning a character I have who's based off of the story by Sheridan LaFoe, Carmilla, which is like a vampire Yuri from the 1800s. And I originally had like a design for them, but she was kind of like I didn't really like her design. She kind of looked like a basic butch girl, and so I gave her more like a drag queen look, or like what's it called? It's like those theater plays specifically targeted to women, and I just wanted her to look more like feminine butch, like a femme butch kind of thing. I don't know if that's a thing, but like she has more feminine qualities, but she's still like butch. And that's my version of Carmilla, because people don't do Carmilla, butch Carmilla. I don't think anyone really did that. But I would love an adaptation where Carmilla's a butch. And then more Carmilla characters. This is Vordenberg. He's not in the story. He wasn't that important until the end. But I decided to give him a rivalry with Carmilla, and also she's a woman. That's it. And then Spielberg and Reinfeldt, they were also characters from the story. They're not that important. I made them cousins instead of her being his niece. I just think they'd be closer that way. I don't know. No, it's just once again, it's a retelling. It's not supposed to be totally accurate. It's like a fantasy retelling, I think. Because I don't know if anyone's done that yet. I mean, vampires basically are fantasy, but it's usually historical fantasy or historical fiction, not fantasy. Excuse me. More Carmilla stuff. This is a quote I like. This is also a quote I like. It's just world building stuff, and then yeah, and Laura and Carmilla, they having a little moment. It's so messy. Laura also has like a twin sister. Can you see her? She's right there. The sketchbook's not letting me see. But yeah. Oh, these highlighters too. They were like the mild thingamajigs. Mild liners. I miss them. I think they all dried out. More Yuri, and then this was Limbus Company art. This is like makes no sense if you don't know Limbus Company. But like if you know Limbus Company, you could probably tell what's happening here. Hopefully. And then more Beckett, Adair, and Marina. And then Shuni and Bahar is having a little moment. And then more Carmilla and Lauren's twin sister. She goes by a lot of names. That either like Laurel or is Lauren. And then here's some Laura, the original main character. So I love using like pencil crayons. What's it called? It's right here. Prismacolors. An uncle gave it to me for Christmas, and they're pretty good, all things considered. More Lighthouse Keeper stuff. This was originally like a game where it's like a cooking game, but then slowly, because you have to cook mermaids, right? So I was just thinking how to do that, but this was just in practice with some watercolors my friend gave me. More Chuni and Bahar. This is like their college friendship group. They might be important to their story, but I don't know. And then this is Bahar's ex-girlfriend. And she's like more fashionable femme lesbian girl. But they broke up. Because Bahar just wasn't, she just wasn't it. And then more of Chuni's friends. His name is Trey and his name is Marquez. I don't know what her name is. I don't think there's more stuff down here. This is giving Monsters Inc. or whatever. And I think these are like concepts for like a YouTube short I want to do, but I never did it. And this is like art, and this is just a random doodle. More Chuni stuff, and then when I joined my college freshman group, they wanted to do like a D&D character design thing, so they wanted to make like D&D personas, and so this one was mine. I don't know anything about D&D, so I had to look up a bunch of stuff about it. And I just made something for fun, just like a fantasy character, but like me. I don't look like that, but don't worry. Yeah, more fantasy stuff. I might put up what their last looked like, what the final design, I mean. And yeah, we were just like doing it for fun because everyone's into D&D, I think. I also want to be in into D&D, but I have no one to do it with. And then this is Haruko Itsuki. These are very, very old OCs. I just read you. I made them when I was like 10, I think. And yeah, there's just like a demon girl and then like a normal human girl, and then they become friends. That was the basic premise. Oh yeah, more Haruko and Itsuki, yeah. And these are characters I made from a dream I had. And these are BL. I don't remember their names though. I don't think they have names actually. It's kind of just because they grew up in a Catholic school and then they left. And then they lived together and they died together. I don't know, toxic doomed yaoi, I guess. I like these though. They're very soft. Very Maurice coded. But yeah, I don't think they have names. I generally don't remember what their names are. This is corset stuff, like during the Victorian times. She looks really good at that. But yeah, it's just my Victorian characters in corsets. Should I? Oh, this is like way better, is it not? No, it's more difficult. But yeah, this is because I think men also wore corsets, but they didn't wear it. Like it slowly started to die out for men, but for women it stayed pretty long. What's it? A dare and like a mermaid, and then this was from a book I read called The Spirit Bears Its Teeth. It's a pretty solid book, I think. I think Andrew White, like, he knows horror, in my opinion. Like, he knows what horror's about. And more Spirit Bears Its Teeth stuff. It's like just stupid doodles. It's nothing serious. I mean, the book is pretty serious, but I'm just being goofy with it. And this was based off of like a Filipino fashion thing that was happening. It looked really cool. I just don't remember the name. It says right here. Can you see that? That's just where it's from, I think. It's very angelic. I think they know how to make very cool fashion. This is more practicing tigers. I said I didn't know how to do tigers. Oh, actually, I think I was out with university friends, college friends, I guess. We all planned to like meet up at a park, and so I just got my sketchbook and I just started doodling whatever. This was when the whole Korean Japanese girl Yuri was like trending on Twitter, and I just wanted to make my own like age gap version. And these are my OCs from the first page, and this is just them. This is like their fashion sense, basically, just like what they would wear. Oh my god, my big ass head is like in the way. But yeah, this is what they would wear, preferably. I was thinking of like coloring this, but I never did. These are some old OCs too. They're like creepypasta OCs back when I was into creepypasta. And they're like analog horror, kind of. Right? They're like the VHS movies. They're just like in VHSs and they haunt people and stuff. These are also more old OCs. But I drew them a lot. They were like my main OCs, but now I pretty much moved on. Which is kind of sad, I guess. But I was 11, so. And this is when I was watching someone called Weeby News play this like Danganronpa fan game called Danganronpa Another. And I just drew the characters from it. Because I like the mild liners. I just want to test the highlighters I had. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. Like, I don't know if it's better than the original ones, but I'd say like the story-wise, it's pretty good. This was for storyboarding class. We just have to make a bunch of angles. And then this was from when I read a book called Red X by David Demchuk. And so basically it takes place during the AIDS crisis in Toronto. So it's like around the 60s, the 70s and stuff like that. And this is this guy, he's in like a notebook and he like seduces gay men. And then he like traps them in his like notebook or something. I don't know if he's like a metaphor for the AIDS crisis or like just the vulnerability of gay men in Toronto during the 60s. But yeah, I think I made him like a bit too twinkish. I think in the books he's more of a bear. He looks more like a bear because he has like chest hair and stuff, it said. So that's my bad, I guess. More Bahar and Chuni. Their story takes place during like 2006, so they obviously don't have our kind of cell phones. They probably have like a Nokia, and that's what I want to do. Then these are Soviet OCs, and then these are two random people. I have no idea. I have no idea who these two are. And then more, they're having like a protest. And then fish, just some fish for the lighthouse keeper thing, because it's like ocean horror. So a bunch of things like come from the ocean and haunts the island, and they have to eat it. They have to eat them. Yeah, it's just doodles. This was a character based off of how do I explain this? So basically I have this story where people around the world come here and they fight to the death. It's like the Olympics, in the Hunger Games, basically. And so this character represents Vietnam. And his powers, everybody has superpowers. I forgot to mention that. And he basically can heal anything. And that just makes him like extremely OP. So I was like thinking about that. Because like, how do you defeat him if he just like can't die? Isn't like, how'd they let him in? And this is like a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, where the wolf is like the little girl, and then Red, can you see her? Red here, she's the one hunting her down because she wants her coat to make a pelt, I guess. That's my Little Red Riding Hood retelling. This was also something for school. You had to take 2 celebrities, quote-unquote celebrities, and then you have to make them into one character. And so I chose Thomas Sankara and Houdini, purely out of they were the first people that came to my mind. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. I might use him for something, but I don't know what. Oh, it's a Love Bullet. I don't know if this was when it was getting popular, or this was like months after it got popular. But yeah, pretty cool. I need to catch up on this, actually. I haven't read Love Bullet in like a while. These were some more Vietnamese OCs. I think this was like Viet Cong. They're not Viet Cong. What are they called? Yeah, Viet Cong. This is like Vietnam War, and then they're also like partisans. Viet Congs were partisans, I'm pretty sure. I love the markers, the highlighters. They were like so nice, but I can't use them because they all dried out. More Vietnam OCs, and then Cedric, and then his other employer. His name is Bruno, and they're kind of very toxic. They don't really like each other. He doesn't like him. He sometimes likes him, but usually he doesn't. They don't like each other. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, this is like regions. I forgot which regions in Vietnam these were based off of, but yeah. This is Lighthouse Keeper stuff. This is the map of the island. It's pretty small. It's not supposed to be that big, but this is a little cottage. This is like their plants and stuff. And this is me messing with watercolors. Cedric, and then Eloise, and then Bahar's girlfriend, that she still doesn't have a name. I think this was Limbus, based off of Limbus Company. Because the waiters, not the waiters, the butlers, they like also fight. They're trained fighters. It's kind of funny. More watercolor stuff. This was based off of the Bolshevik and the White Palace, and then some OCs. He doesn't have a name, I'm pretty sure. And that's just a wolf. This is just so dumb. This is like Heartstopper if they were toxic yaoi. It was such a dumb idea, but like I was just curious what they would be like. And so this was the 2 dudes, if they were mean to each other, I guess, or if they had like non-palpable personalities, I guess. I forgot their names, deadass. And then these were the lesbian girls from Heartstopper, if they were also toxic, and these are the heteros. I don't know how to make them toxic. Maybe they're just like weirdly obsessive over each other. Because like Tao is overly protective, and then I forgot, she's like, I have no idea, I don't remember. Maybe she's like self-conscious and he like makes her feel special, I don't know. Yeah, more Heartstopper stuff. Like my AU, my Riverdale AU, I guess. This is just a dumb comic about those guys. They don't have a name, they don't even have like a serious name. No, her name is Nagami, her name is Jiyoung, I think. Jiyoung? Oh no, I forgot her name. Jiyoon, I think. I don't know. That's her name. And they don't like each other. They're like rivals and stuff. You can read the comic, but I won't read it for you. It's they are these guys. Where are they? Yeah, Jiyoon. Her name is Jiyoon, and then she's Nagami. More doodles. These are the Toxic Yuri animatic girls I made like a while back. They don't have like a full story. They're just kind of there. And then these are just random doodles. I think these were like Enna, inspired by Enna from Joji. More Yuri stuff. I think they're fucking. And then the very dumb comic with Chuni and Bahar. You can read it, but my handwriting is like not good. This was way before Roshu's Kanto came out, and I just finished reading reference literature, Hellscreen by Ryunosuke. It's pretty good because he makes short stories and stuff like that, and this is more Tiger, trying to use what I learned back then about how to draw tigers. I think I improved relatively well. Like compared to the old ones, it's pretty, like you can tell it's supposed to be like an animal compared to the whatever the hell I was doing back then. I think this is when Guillermo del Toro like just announced that he was making a Frankenstein movie. Like this was way before it came out, but this was when it was teased first, I think. And so I was like, people should make a gender bent Frankenstein. Like, why has no one done that yet? Like, it was written by a woman, you know? Like it's 2026. We should probably get on that. And then these are more doodles of the concept. I actually don't know how to explain it. Just make her like really gay. That's my only retelling. Maybe I can make it through the visual novel too. That's like my only way I can tell stories, or like a webcomic, but I don't know, webcomics I feel like take longer. But yeah, it's just a random assortment of like ideas that just get in my mind and I just have to write them down or just draw them. But yeah. Also for some reason I wanted to take place during the Soviet Union, and when technology started picking up, I just want some like commentary on that. And then some OCs. These are like old OCs I made when I was 13. And they're basically like a bunch of pumpkins. Like they're like a cult. And they start rising up from the dead and start terrorizing this small town. It's very old mystery, Hardy Boys, stuff like that. Because I kind of miss the aesthetic. This is 2024. Hello? Did I write the date wrong? No, this is 2024. Wait, what the hell? Wait, this isn't even 2025. Okay, whatever. Let's quickly go through it. And then OC stuff. He is like a incubus, and he does whatever she says. And she's like part of this council thing, and she really wants to get like a very strong position in the council. And so she uses him to like kill her political enemies. That's basically their story. Because he can do whatever she wants, and he'll do it because he's literally like a god, but he's also very submissive. So yeah, you probably see some over there. Oh my god, this sketchbook's so big. And then those are the OCs again. I don't know what to call them, but they're like a group of friends. And then more of them. They don't have a story. They don't even have names either. But they're just basically the incubus and the woman story. That's it. And then I went to a zoo. Technically, people were bringing like their farm animals, and so we just drew them. It was like our task to draw some animals. And I wanted to color these, but I didn't get time. I was too lazy. No piggy. Oh, excuse me. And there's more animals. I'm not good at drawing animals. I've come to realize. More Frankenstein stuff. And then him again. He doesn't have a name. He's based off of this Zulu creature. It's called like an Impundulu or something. Like a thunderbird. A Zulu thunderbird. I don't know if the whole like incubus thing is like an actual folklore thing, but that's what he's based off of. More lighthouse keeper stuff. It's just lighthouse keeper stuff. It's just lighthouse. And this is what they would eat. This is all the stuff. And then yeah, and these are some more stuff. And then these are for an assignment. We had to make characters like going on a road trip. And so I was thinking like, oh, they're in a zombie apocalypse, or they're a biker gang, or they're like partisans. I chose the zombie apocalypse one. I can put the final designs up there. These are none of them. But, these are them. These are their final designs. I think I got a pretty good mark on that. More Yuri. Very toxic Yuri. But yeah. It was like they were like in a corporate job, and then sorry, I'm gonna go back to them. They were like in a corporate job, but then a zombie apocalypse hits, and then they have to like gear up. Because I wanted them to have a uniform, but like if they were college students, they probably don't wear uniforms. Colleges don't have uniforms. But in a corporate setting, everyone has to wear the same thing, so it just made sense. More Yuri. These are old OCs. Like, she's like from the dead, and then she's just a very paranoid girl. And so they make like an uprising. They like try to, because in their world the dead don't die. They have to like they're in servitude to the devil, so they're all just working for eternity. But they're like, no, like people should not die and then work forever. They should die and then die. They should be at peace. And so that's what their story is about. And then these are just old OCs. They're also in their story. Some old OCs I might talk about them next time, but not today. And this was a book I read. It was called The Dark and Drowning Tide. And I really liked it in the first half, but the ending just like ruined it for me. And I like hated it. It made me so mad because like I thought it was really good, but then like it fell off extremely hard. So it made me a bit upset. You can read it. I won't read it. It just felt really like the characters are just extremely selfish when they really don't have to be. It just made me so upset. More porn. And this is when I got Who markers, and then I tried to use them, but they didn't really turn out that well. It doesn't have a large array of colors. You kind of have to mix them, but even when you mix them, they don't make like a really nice. The color is not really like satisfying. Yeah, this is more me practicing, but like it didn't really turn out that well. Yeah, it's just more of that. Especially this came out like really bad. And then Teto's face, she even like it's like not good. Like that color, like ugh, it's like not good. Gore warning. But yeah, more mermaids in the Lighthouse Keeper thing, because like this is based off like when you skin a fish. Because like when you take the meat off of a mermaid, you probably have to eat her, a lot of her body. I don't know what you do with the rest of it. Probably just throw it out into the ocean. And yeah, there's more concepting with like the mermaid horror of it all. And then this is just some random doodles. This is more those partisans in their little village. There's some guy. More just sultry stuff, and then like sexual stuff, and this is my old OC Dizzy, and she's like a messenger of death kind of character. You know, I was an edgy kid, so I just had that kind of character. But yeah, she's like just an ambassador from like heaven and hell and stuff like that. Oh, oh my god, we had to do pelvises. We had to like draw in different angles. I don't know why pelvises was like this big fucking bone we have to do. But we had to do it, and it sucked. I hated it. It was the worst thing ever. And then more skin fish I was practicing. And then these are some OCs. This is like a redraw of an old page, a sketchbook page. Because I was just bored. I think I just got Kao Mori's like sketchbook book, and she was just drawing a bunch of doodles, and I just got inspired. More stuff. I think at this point they're fucking okay. I might have to skip this a bit, but yeah, old design. She has weird anatomy. Okay, they're fucking over there. And then more pencil doodles. This one actually really nice. Like I love the sketching here, and she's very cute. And then Beckett, Adair, and Marina, but like in sailor clothes, because they live near the sea. And yeah. More random doodles. And then her name is Helena, and she's a Soviet sniper. So I just drew the Soviet fit. And then these are Yuri, more Yuri. You might see them a little later. Karina and Orselina. Oh, these are cute though. A little bunny. But then these are like another story I have, which is like animals, or like people that can shape shift into animals. And these are a bunch of like golden eagles. So this is their human forms before they turn into like equals. So like warriors, basically. They're based off of the soldiers in the Eurasian steppes, like the Mongols and people like that. And more. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is our old Yuri thing I had. She's like a ringleader, and she's like the stereotypical virgin girl who just wants some to get used to lesbian sex. I don't know. Yeah, she's very pretty. I really like how this came out. And these two are, you know. Yeah, this is when I got the Cowmore sketchbook and I just wanted to draw using my pen. Not pen, pencil. And so yeah, just to, yeah. There's a kitty up here. Yeah, she's right here. Then more Elena and Helena. But Helena is much older. I mean, much younger in this one. They're like the same age in this one, but in real life, Helena is like much older than her. And this, I finished this in December 2024. So this is kind of old. It's like 2 years old. Wait, that's so like, yikes. I did not know that. Oh my god. Wait, then that's, oh, ew, I'm so old.